All right, let's get right into it. Something really fundamental is shifting in the world of AI. You know, the days of just tinkering with the latest, coolest model, those are kind of fading away. A new game is starting with much, much higher stakes. This is the new war for AI infrastructure.
It really all kicked off with this one sentence that just sent shockwaves through the entire developer community. A huge player, a company that built its entire brand on being open, just slammed the door shut. And this isn't just some boring policy update. This is like the first shot being fired in a war for the future of how AI is built and controlled. So let's talk about Meta. For years, they were the undisputed champion of open source AI, right? They were releasing their super powerful Llama models for literally anyone to download and use. But now, with their first new model in a year, everything has changed.
And I mean, just look at the difference here. It's night and day. On one side, you had the Llama models. They were the foundation for so much open innovation. On the other side, their brand new model, MuseSpark, is the complete opposite. It's not just closed source, it's invite only, and you need a Facebook or Instagram login to even get a look. The message couldn't be clearer. The all-you-can-eat buffet is officially closed.
And don't think for a second that they're just keeping some minor side project to themselves. No way. MuseSpark is an absolute beast. It is crushing top-tier models from Anthropic, Google, and OpenAI on some incredibly difficult tests. So here's the key takeaway. Meta built a true state-of-the-art model, one that pushes the very limits of what AI can do, and then they decided to lock it up. So why? Well, that gets us to the much bigger picture. See, Meta's move isn't just happening in a bubble. All the leading AI labs are basically running the same play. The new battle isn't about having the smartest model for a week. It's about building an entire ecosystem, a platform that businesses can't live without. It's about digging a moat around your customers.
Anthropic, another one of the heavy hitters, just tipped their hand with a new service they're calling Managed Agents. So instead of just selling you access to an API, they're now offering to run your AI agents for you. You don't have to worry about the servers or the code. You just tell the agent what you need done, and Anthropic handles everything else. This isn't AI as a tool anymore. It's AI as a utility, like electricity.
And we actually got a peek behind the curtain on this, thanks to a massive code leak. We saw the blueprint for their whole strategy. It's a project called Conway. And listen, this is not just another chatbot. It's a persistent agent that's designed to live and breathe inside your company's systems. It can be woken up by specific events, it can control your internal software, and, this is the most important part, it learns the unique workflow of your company over time.
And that right there, that's the new moat. The way these companies are going to lock you in isn't by being the cheapest, it's by becoming the smartest about you. Once an agent has spent months learning your team's specific quirks, your file naming conventions, your whole decision-making process, the pain of switching to a new provider becomes gigantic. You'd literally be erasing its memory and starting from zero.
And look, this isn't just some abstract, high-level corporate strategy. These agent-based systems are already making a huge impact on how real work gets done, from incredibly creative projects to highly technical ones.
Okay, you have to hear this story. A developer made a multiplayer game back in 1992. The source code was totally lost for decades. The only thing he had left was old documentation. So he fed all of it to an AI agent, and over a single weekend, the agent reverse-engineered the custom code and rebuilt the entire game from scratch. A project that took a whole team years to build was brought back to life in a weekend.
This kind of transformation is happening at the very highest levels of software development too. DHH, the guy who created the Ruby on Rails framework, a man famous for being a huge AI skeptic, now uses agents as his main way of programming. And his analogy for it is just perfect. He says it's like wearing a mech suit. The AI isn't there to replace you, it's there to make you way more powerful.
You see, for DHH, those little AI autocomplete suggestions that pop up everywhere, he found them to be more of a distraction than anything else. But agent-based workflows, that was a complete game changer. He describes it as being in total control, but just moving way, way faster. A total transformation of how he works.
But of course, all this new power comes with some pretty scary new dangers. We're now in what you could call the production debugging era. We're seeing developers get their ad accounts permanently banned because an AI agent made automated requests that violated a platform's policies. We've seen others accidentally burn through a fortune. We're talking billions of tokens on a single runaway project. These tools are powerful enough to cause real permanent damage if you're not careful.
So, while all the major US labs are busy building these proprietary walled gardens,
A completely different strategy is taking shape somewhere else. An open frontier, where the blueprints are being shared with everyone for free.
And this chart really shows you the great AI divide that's forming. As labs like Meta and Anthropic are pivoting to closed proprietary systems, Chinese research labs are just flooding the open source world with powerful models that anybody can download, customize, and run on their own computers.
And the evidence for this is just overwhelming. First, you've got major industry reports pointing out the sheer dominance of Chinese labs in this space. Second, ZI just dropped the largest open source model ever created. And third, you've got models like QN 3.5 that are behaving like really mature, well-supported pieces of software. For anyone who needs total control over their AI for privacy or for cost reasons, this is where all the action is right now.
So all of this leads to a pretty critical decision. The ground has literally shifted beneath our feet, and now every single developer, every researcher, every business has to make a choice.
So, okay, here's the new reality. First, the era of just messing around with AI tools is over. Second, you now have to make a conscious choice about which ecosystem you're going to build in. Are you going with the proprietary managed platforms from the West, or the open do-it-yourself frontier? And third, you have to understand that this choice is a long-term bet, and it comes with very real costs if you ever want to switch.
And that really brings us to the final question. As AI stops being just a tool and starts becoming the fundamental infrastructure for the next decade of technology, you have to decide, are you going to build inside the walled garden or out on the open frontier? Because the choice you make today is going to define everything that's possible for you tomorrow.